Good morning, friends. Thank you so much for joining me in another conversation. Today's topic is about the challenges of an intercultural marriage, specifically between a Filipino and an American. My husband and I have been married for 5 years now, and we are no exception. We also had to go through these challenges, although the degree of difficulty of these challenges that we face could vary from your own experience because we are all unique. We have different characteristics, we have different backgrounds. We are in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. Now, I'd like to start this conversation with the less serious challenges or the cute ones because, as you know, this topic can be really, really heavy and so serious and difficult to talk about. And I don't want to scare people off, especially the ones who are still considering of marrying a Filipina. That's why they are here. I know there's gonna be some people who would be hounding in my comment section saying, Arlene, Filipinas are bad, Filipinas are a liar, Filipinas are not genuine, this and that. But you know what? Those are minority Filipinas. That's not the majority of the Filipinas. Because, shocker, actually in my circle, there's no Filipina that's like that. My friends and family are all devoted, loving Filipinas. So that's why I am doing this video. I want to help the good Americans and the good Filipinas find each other and have a beautiful union filled with love and prosperity. All right, let's start with a language barrier. Filipinas can speak really good English. This is because our medium of instruction in the Philippines is English. Although we are not really that good when it comes to conversational English. Like me, for example, I'm a professional. I consider myself good in business English, but I still find myself scrambling for words or having a difficulty to express myself at times. And what could be more to a Filipina who did not have any college education? This could be really difficult for them. And also the accent. They said there's a lot of people who said that, oh, Filipina accent is a really sexy accent. I don't know about that, but yeah, that's one of the cute challenges. And another is that Filipinas tend to misgender a lot. One subscriber left me a comment saying that his Filipino's English is not that good and that concerned him because that might pose certain issues or big challenge for her when she goes here in the US, that she might have a hard time finding friends or landing a job. And when he offered to help, the Filipina took offense. If you're a Filipina watching this video, I encourage you to be open-minded and even encourage your husband to help you, to correct you. When I started my relationship with my husband, I expressed to him that I wanted to improve my English. And I told him that whenever I mispronounce words, although you grasp what I was trying to tell you, please correct me or tell me the proper way to pronounce it or the better way of saying it. And to the person who left me that comment, and to all of you who resonates with him, I salute all of you. I salute you for looking after your Filipina, for looking to better your partner in life. There's a lot of men, Americans, who do not want to help their Filipina grow because they are scared that when their Filipina gets confident and level up herself, that she would find another man to replace him. Well, what kind of thinking is that to begin with? Why did you marry if you have this kind of thinking? Because I do believe that when you get married, you want the best for your partner. And Filipina, it's a huge red flag if the person that you are in a relationship with does not help you grow and does not help you achieve your utmost potential. And if your American husband is trying to better you, be very grateful, because that just means that he is a quality husband, and that he just don't want to have a wife who is just a bump in the log. All right, let's move on. Next, let's talk about this annoying trait of Filipinos, especially when they first got married to an American, or no, they just moved to America. Because everything is new to us, everything is impressive. We tend to take a lot of pictures, and this annoys our husband. I remember there were a few times that when we were eating out, and I told my husband, "Don't eat yet. I want to take a picture of the food first." Or my husband would even say, "Oh, okay, so take your pictures now so we can eat." And of course, I'm not stupid enough to not figure out that my husband did not like it. So I learned pretty quick to adjust, because I care for my husband. And guess what? Because my husband loves me and he saw my effort to respect his perspective and stand on things, now he is sometimes the one volunteering to take a picture. Like he would ask me, "I know you want to have a picture here and there. Okay, go have your photo op," because I usually call it photo op. Another thing that annoys my American husband is asking him a lot of questions. And I mean a lot. Like, I don't know, maybe like there's a tendency that like we're assuming that because they're Americans and that they lived here in America all their life, that they know the answers to our questions. And my husband would sometimes respond to me like, "I'm not a Wikipedia, I'm not Google." Or sometimes he would say, "Arlene, there's this thing called internet." But to my husband's credit, though, he has answered a lot of my questions. It's just that sometimes when I was bombarding him with a lot of questions, he was actually in the middle of his own thoughts and I'm interrupting him. And of course, that's annoying, that's frustrating. Another annoying thing that the Filipina tends to do, especially when she just got here in the US, is spending a lot of time talking to her friends over the phone and in Filipino. And to non Filipino speakers like American husbands, that is like yapping. And if you spend like hours and hours and like very loud talking to your friends, it's really annoying to your American husband. But it's another story though when your Filipina does not wanna do anything with you and just wanna keep on, visiting with her friends and family over the phone. Why I'm saying this is because I also received that kind of comment here on my channel. I don't know the full picture. It could mean a lot of things. It could mean that the wife resented him. Maybe the husband promised something and he did not follow through. Or she could also be just a shitty human being because, yeah, like I said in the beginning of this video, that not all Filipinas are good. So you really have to vet the person that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. And to the Filipinas watching, I know how important it is to, talk to somebody in your own dialect, because we can express ourselves better. So try to do that when your husband is not in the same room, or when your husband in the same room, talk to your friends in English. They can respond to you in Filipino, but just respond in English. That way, you are also helping yourself improve your English communication skills. One thing that caught me off guard, and I would say even offended me, was when my husband told me that he feels like I lack the sense of urgency. And I pondered about it, and although I kind of disagree with him, But I also do acknowledge that because I'm a Filipina, I have a tendency of operating on a Filipino time. And aside from Filipino time, have you heard about mañana habit of Filipinos? It's not just Filipinos who are guilty of procrastination, but I would say majority of the Filipinos exhibit this trait. And now let's talk about the serious challenges in a Filipino American marriage. Number one there is Tampo. Filipinos tend to get offended easily because as Filipinos, we are really careful with our words. We, as much as possible, we don't curse. We don't like to hurt other people's feelings. So, of course, it hurts us when somebody is not holding the same standard when dealing with us. And Americans can be very direct. Most Americans don't really mince words. And yeah, that's why sometimes when an American husband calls out the wife, sometimes or most of the times the American husband is in the right, but because of how he expressed himself, the Filipino wife got offended and get into Tampo. American husbands, when your wives are offended of what you said, don't just say, suck it up, buttercup, or grow up. No, that's not the way to do it. And I'm also not saying that Tampo is good. Filipinas, if you disagree with what your husband said or if you got offended, then try to be more communicative to your husband instead of like, you know, doing this silent treatment. Try to tell him right there and then. Sometimes Filipinos tend to do tempo to drive the point home, but sometimes it will just draw a big wedge in your relationship, especially when you are dragging it for days. Once your husband apologize and trying to make amends, stop the tempo already. I know you wanna stew on that feeling like, oh, my husband is so bad. How could he say that to me? Blah blah blah. Like instead of like playing all these nasty things in your head, then say it to him in person, and then close the issue right there and then. Talk about it like grown-ups. Do not wait for your husband to give you the dose of your own medicine because I tell you, based on experience, that it doesn't feel good. Finally, let's talk about the biggest, or should I say, the hardest challenge most Filipino American couples face, and that is the Filipinas families' expectations when it comes to money and support. I have covered this issue several times already here on my channel, so I'm gonna link some of the videos where I talk about this certain aspect of our culture. But for this video, I just want to say that it is really important that before you get married, that you talk about or you set the expectations straight. Also, I want you to be prepared of the possibility that your Filipina will not follow through with your agreement. This is because her family sometimes would bombard her with a lot of requests and sometimes would even use emotional blackmail on her just to get what they want. And you're a Filipina thinking that, oh, in a way, it's nothing to me, financially because, it's pesos and I'm earning dollars here, that she would capitulate to the request. And it's in those moments that you step in, and in those moments that your Filipina badly needed your resolve. When a Filipina is married to a Westerner, most of the people in the Philippines would perceive her to be rich. And that's why lots of people, not just from her family, would come to her and ask for help, donations, solicitations, all those kind of things. And there are some Filipinas who actually care so much of what other people think that they don't want to say no to this request because they're afraid that if they say no, these people will say, oh, okay, so she's poor, or that she married a poor American, or she's scared that people will be gossiping about her of how she has changed or how bad she is now because she feels superior now that she's married to an American. But who cares, right? Yeah, for most of us, yes, we can stand up for ourselves, but there are weak Filipinos who are easily manipulated by these tactics. And if you are married to one, help your Filipina understand that she doesn't need those people's validation. And if there's one person's validation that she should care about, is your validation as her husband. Anyway, guys, like I said, I will be linking the videos that I have created already around this topic. So if you are interested, check out the link below. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're interested to learn about the lessons that I have learned after living here in America for 5 years, check out this video. And if you want to hear about my advice about dating or marrying a Filipina, check out this playlist. I hope to see you again next time. Until then, have a great day, all of you.